And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to day 2 of Thriving Facilitators Dare to Thrive Challenge. And yes, do let me know if you're watching and say hi to us in the comments. I've got some of the members of the membership here with me, and I'll be bringing them on in a moment. So let us know if you're here, and that would be great. And also where you're streaming in from. So today we're talking very specifically about the Thriving Facilitators membership. And alongside that, I'd like you to hold in your heads the theme of connection and the importance of connection. And that's absolutely key to a thriving facilitator and also for the membership. So for me, and I think it's commonly understood and actually well researched, the important connection is really, really important. It's really important that we see ourselves as part of something bigger than us. And so Thriving Facilitators is modeling that by creating a network of a network community of practitioners from different settings, and that's now become an international community. Within our supervision sessions, so once a month there'll be a supervision session, we're looking at the experience of the particular of one person and in relation to the whole, in relation to all of us. So we're finding ways in which we can connect in with everybody's experience. And then going outwards to look at the role of the system in relation to the individual. So there's a whole kind of stream of lenses that we are applying to exploring our experience of practice. So, and that's only one thing that the membership provides, which I'll go into. So the vision of Thriving Facilitators is that it's an affordable provision, and I'm hoping an emerging movement is growing of the need for support and growth for heart-centered practitioners. And I believe it's the first of its kind. I think we are offering a kind of hybrid form of supervision, and I'll go into that in a moment. But there are 3 main strands. So being part of the membership is focused on, the first strand is around supporting you to look after your well-being. And we have our kind of supervision, reflective practice, and opportunity to connect with others as part of that, supporting your growth as a practitioner. The second important strand is about deepening your presence and connection as a facilitator. So really supporting you to lean into your heart-centered instincts and to grow your confidence, to be fully present within your community. And that's key, obviously, for your communities, but also for your thriving practice as well. And then generally, that committed to your growth as a thriving practitioner. So there's a real sense of really thinking long term about your growth rather than just kind of dealing with the coping of where you are right now. So how do we do that? We do that through specific sessions. So there's a session every week. So there's one on supervision that's very dedicated to supervision and looking at practice. There are more focus workshops around particular themes that I set for the month. So this month we have, the theme is dealing with disagreement, and that becomes the lens through which we respond. So people respond from their personal lives and also from their practice within those sessions. We have open sessions, so lunchtime sessions, coffee morning sessions, where you can bring whatever you like or just come in to connect with others. And importantly, we have a roadmap that is a kind of setting out the journey from survive to thrive. And I'm just going to try and share my screen and give you a little example of what that looks like. If you've done the quiz, and we're going to be putting a link to the quiz in the chat. Hold on, can't multitask. Just need to do one thing at a time. Okay. Oh, there we go. So this is a version of the roadmap, and so it starts at the bottom with survive. I've called it befriending me. So I take care of myself. It's kind of sub theme there. It moves to unlock. So survive is about really kind of getting yourself grounded, really understanding how experience works, what our survival mechanisms are, and how we can access the parasympathetic aspects of our nervous system as well. So really thinking about grounding and breathing and kind of doing the base work that we need to be ready to kind of work with others and be in the world, basically. And so we're also looking at kind of some of the beliefs that we might have picked up along the way and exploring those. Unlock goes into looking at what you want to bring into the world and your beliefs and values. So really starting to lean into your purpose as a heart-centered practitioner, because that's absolutely key. And then it moves to connect. So really thinking about presence and connection with others. So this idea that relational practice brings meaning for me, and really uncovering and exploring what that looks like. And then the third layer up is challenge. So what happens when we get into difficult, challenging situations? And then the ultimate point to get to is thrive, where I realize I have everything I need. So there's a quick kind of whiz through the roadmap. And if you do the quiz, you'll get a break. You'll get a sense, if you answer the questions, you'll get a sense of where you might sit in that. I'd love to get your feedback on that, because the quiz is really new. I've literally launched it this week. So I'd love to get your sense of where you feel you sit in relation to that. And I'll be also sending you the whole document, so you can see a more detailed breakdown of how that works across the whole roadmap. And if you join the membership, you also there are detailed milestones that really help you to kind of work through that. And it's part of supporting you to develop your own personal reflective practice journey. So that's what that's about. Now, is Ali here? Yes, Ali's here. Sorry, I'm just adding new people in as we go. So I'm going to not share my screen now. Just bear with me a second. Okay, we're back. Oh, are we all here? We're all in.
Yep.
Let me get Ali. Where's Ali?
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, you're here. Is everyone in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So here are some members of Thriving Facilitators. I'll just carry on for a second, and then we'll go around and introduce who everyone is. So actually, before I was going to do that, I was going to give you a little tour of the membership. So we've got the roadmap, and then we've got the sessions every week that are happening, and so those are the live sessions. And lots of practitioners and people will share with you here prefer to come to the live sessions, but there are also other practitioners who don't have time, or they're really busy, so they really like to catch up on the sessions via the platform. So I'm just going to share with you the platform, because what we're doing here is we're using state-of-the-art technology. So this is an example of the platform. It's still in development, but we're kind of getting there. I'll share with you. Oh, I'm now getting loads of echo. That's interesting. So what you can see here is a Netflix style platform. At the top there's a welcome section, and when you press there, you get into a little getting started series, which helps show you around the platform and show you how things will work. And then underneath, you'll see the Thriving Facilitators roadmap. So there's a series of short videos that are about the different key stages on the roadmap. So all of that is designed to really help you to get really focused in on what you need to lean into for you. So it's not a generic approach. It's something that is going to be very tailored for you. And then as you go down, you can see that there's a calendar with access to all the sessions. There's boxes here where you can get the monthly content. So there are themed workshops, supervision sessions, and open coaching sessions. And you can see, if I click on here, you can see some of the topics that we look at. So there's a session that we ran on thinking habits, leaning into presence, the drama triangle, challenge, that kind of thing. And if I went into here, you can search for anything that you like. So say you're interested in boundaries and you want to explore that a bit more. Let's put that in. So we've got 2 sessions that were specifically looking at boundaries, one short session and one longer one. And then you can see 141 keywords and 24 videos that mention boundaries. It's clearly an issue for us. So you can just click on any of these and it will take you to the video, which I'm just doing right now. And so these are the Quick Start Essentials, are some short videos that that I created so if you only got a short amount of time, you can get a kind of summary. And then to the right, you've got a transcript of all the, some people are saying it's blurred. Right, okay, I can send you a video around this if you're interested. I'll put it up later. And you can see there's a transcript basically, and you can even search within that as well. So you can really get to exactly where you want to get to quite quickly. So I'm going to just go back. I've given you enough of a glimpse into the platform. Oh no. How do I do this now? Oh, Lordy. No, that's not right. Stop screen. There we go. Let's see if I can get everybody in. Okay, so that's an insight into the platform. And yeah, so who uses it? So we have practitioners from a range of different settings and contexts. So we have people at the moment accessing the membership from Ireland, Northern Ireland, New Zealand, Portugal, the US, Wales, and the breadth of UK and London. And I might have missed a location, which you can correct me on, members, in a moment. And so people from all over the world are coming in and enriching the conversation about some of the issues and themes that come up for us. So I'd love to introduce now to you the members that have kindly agreed to come on today. So should we just go? I don't know. I'll call you out, and just in case our screens look different. So Jenny, would you like to introduce yourself and just say what your role is?
Hello, I am Jenny. I am co-founder and co-artistic director for Barefaced Theatre CIC. We work in the south of England, so in Hampshire and in surrounding counties, delivering arts-based programs to people, men and women, predominantly men and women in prison and on probation, but not exclusively, working with people in the criminal justice system. But yeah, applied theatre and multi-arts, all about connection.
Great, thanks, Jenny. Helena.
Hi, I'm Helena. I am a senior lecturer in applied drama in theatre, applied drama theatre and theatre for social change in Batsby University. Currently working from Ireland because I'm teaching online at the moment. But yeah, that's I've been a facilitator out in the community a lot and make a lot of work with people's lived stories and experiences. Yeah, but currently teaching applied drama and with an emphasis on facilitation for the undergrads. So yeah.
Great, thanks, Helena. And Parshani.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name's Parshani. I'm an applied theatre facilitator. I also co-run a company called Rootprints Theatre that's based in London. So basically we're doing workshops around using cultural diversity as a tool. I also freelance as a facilitator, and I've worked with adults with disabilities, children in special needs schools, and also adults living with dementia and youths as well. So that's just a little bit about me.
Great, thank you. Pedro.
Hi, I'm Pedro Vaz. I've been working in the UK as a facilitator, mainly with immigrants and young people, and as a youth program manager. In the meantime, I moved to Portugal, and I'm now working as an associate artist for a company here called Carnart, and working for the Portuguese government, actually, for doing projects for people at risk of poverty after COVID-19.
Thank you, Pedro. Ali.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Ali. I am based in South Wales. I am a lecturer in applied drama at University of Wales, Trinity St David. I've been an applied drama practitioner and workshop facilitator for many years before that, and also just finished my training as a coach.
Great, thanks very much, Ali. So we have a range of artists, lecturers, a range of locations. Also, we have members of charities who work for frontline staff, for frontline constituents, and we also have people who are working for theatre companies as well, bigger theatre companies. So that's an idea of who's here. So I just thought maybe I could just ask you some questions, because I'm sure people watching would really love to know a little bit more about what it's actually like to be in Thriving Facilitators. So my first question really is around kind of what, and you can just come in when you have something to say. What insights? So Helena, you've been here a few months, I think.
Yeah,
the rest of you have.
A year nearly. Last June, I think I joined.
So it is about a year, isn't it?
Yeah,
nearly about a year.
coming up to it.
So I'm just really interested to know what kind of insights you've gained from the membership, and how has it sort of shifted your understanding about the challenges of what you're doing, and
Yeah, I think for me, one of the big things that I realized when I joined the membership was actually how I'd been in survival mode for a very long time. And that was quite interesting in relating to my own practice. I kind of felt I was scrabbling an awful lot. And I was also, what was interesting is in terms of working within higher education and the boundaries of that and the oppression of that structure sometimes, how to remain heart-centered and pass that kind of knowledge on to the students, especially when working in facilitation. And so I think for me, connecting with other facilitators from around the world has been really fascinating. And because I felt I wasn't out in practice as much. So I'd kind of lost, I guess, touch with some elements of that, but it was a real reminder to kind of dip back into some of that stuff and bring that practice, what I would have done out in the community, back into the classroom and studio. So that was really, it's been fascinating. I've loved the journey so far.
Great, thanks, Helena. Anyone else?
Okay. Just off the back of what Helena was saying, it's just been really important to, I say this a lot, but like try and practice my practice, which is based around connection. And I think in order for me to be a conscious practitioner, it's so crucial for me to hear what other people are going through and not to feel alone. Definitely working in the arts and the criminal justice system down in Hampshire can sometimes feel quite lonely. So being able to connect and hear about all the amazing other things and challenges that people are faced with. And I think also just being really authentic and true in terms of reflecting, having a space for us as practitioners that's safe for us to reflect is the best that I can do for the people that I work with. And I'm learning to trust in my wisdom, Sheila, so it's definitely working.
Great. Who wants to go next? Parshani.
Yeah, just to echo Jenny and Helena, it's just been really useful to connect with other people who are doing similar work and have that. I think, Sheila, you mentioned this in the talk earlier as well in the panel about conscious facilitation and like really peeling the layers of the work that we're doing, even when we're not doing it, has been a tremendous gift, I think, especially during lockdown when so many of us lost work, and it was a time to connect and share experiences from before and use that time really to kind of excavate, is that a word? Yeah. Things that you've done before, and maybe like what Jenny says, practice your practice and think about it. And really just connecting with other people and just having a collective understanding of shared experiences was very beneficial for me to know that you're not alone, like Jenny said, because with being a freelancer, sometimes you really just feel like you're just one person. So that's been very, very useful.
Right. Thanks, Parshani.
I can go next. Thriving Facilitators have been having a really big impact on my life, not only professionally but personally as well. It made me understand how long I was in survival mode and how much I needed to take care of myself. Sharing with all these friends that I feel as friends now. And I wanted just to show this in terms of the roadmap, because when we say survival mode, we just don't understand very well. And I remember the first sessions when Sheila started to talk about this, I was like, I have no idea what she's talking about. But then we understood what that survival mode and all the frames that Sheila presents us is. They are frames that, you know, you are not only on that mode. You shift from one side to the other. And I understood that one of the things I was doing was not embracing my experience because I always showed myself as vulnerable, and I was very loud and proud of being vulnerable. But actually, I was not embracing that experience. I was just showing that without actually understand what was that vulnerability. Sorry. And another thing I understood very well, that's a thing that I'm working now, is how I was going to the challenge part of my practice and my person, and I was keep living with the same fear and discomfort, not learning, not progressing, not bringing back to my own self and to my own practice. And those little things were bringing me back to the survival mode all the time, and that part of feeling that you are not growing or you're not answering the right way. And it's been a journey, a lovely journey, and with all these practitioners, but also with the authenticity of Sheila that has been very important in sharing with us also herself as a practitioner and person. Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. And Ali.
Cool. I just got to echo what everyone else has said, really. But yeah, really interesting. I think that idea of we were in survival mode, you know, and I think what the roadmap that Sheila's put together is really good for doing is allowing you to sort of identify maybe where you're at right now, and the fact that it's not linear. It is I often look at it and think, oh gosh, in one part of my life I'm thriving, in another part I'm feeling really challenged, and just thinking about the questions that surround each of those areas. So yeah, that is, that's been incredibly useful. But kind of on a more macro scale, it's this idea of, I teach people to work with people using drama, and I'm surrounded by other people that do that, and I just don't think there's been enough emphasis on how do we look after ourselves in those spaces. And the nature of people that want to work with people is because we want to help and look after and sometimes rescue, but very rarely do we look at ourselves, and that's when we burn out, or that's when we can't continue. And I think what this has enabled me to do is feel like there's a scaffolding, or there's a support here that enables me to sometimes fall down, sometimes mess up, but be able to get back up, to be able to bounce back, to develop resilience. And that's kind of central within the framework that Sheila's built for Thriving Facilitators, but also within the connection. For me, I think I've always in my whole career felt isolated, and that I don't belong anywhere, and I can't describe what I do. I've never been able to describe what I do. And this is partly given me a vocabulary to do that, but also be amongst people who completely understand and do the same thing, and be able to talk quite honestly and openly about the problems, the difficulties, the things that you wake up in the middle of the night worrying about that sound ridiculous to anybody else, seem to kind of land okay in this space and are recognized. So yeah, so many positives to talk about.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So what would you, I mean, I wrote a short blog the other day around supervision, and I know that supervision can feel really challenging for people, maybe if they haven't had supervision before, and it's something that we're bringing in more explicitly quite recently into work. But what would you say to people who are doing work like yourselves in quite challenging settings about supervision and the importance of having that opportunity? And that's to anyone.
I would say it's not a luxury, it's essential. And I think that maybe there's something about deconstructing the word supervision a little bit, because we maybe associate it with things that it isn't, but sort of redefining it. And when we're working with, you know, what Sheila would call heart-centered practice and practitioners, that supervision helps us unpack our practice, put it out on the table and have a look at it and uncover maybe our stuckness and untangle things that can shift us on. It's like a very deep reflective practice, and we all talk about being reflective practitioners, but often the reflection's quite quick and there's not much time, and there's no one to have there's no mirror to hold yourself up to. And I think supervision provides this kind of multifaceted mirror with which to look at our practice. And I would say if we really want to be having the impact that we want to be having, then we need to be stepping into supervision spaces, whether that's as a group or whether that's individual.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Ali. Jenny, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that if with the people that we're working with, and if we're teaching other students in facilitation, or when we're working in spaces, that we leave space to reflect in, to close the space when we leave, I think for me, it's definitely about being as compassionate to myself as I am for others. And it's part of my ethical practice to make sure that I am making the time and making the effort to be part of a space and fostering an environment where I can share and learn from others, because otherwise it can be dangerous and unhealthy, and that's completely against the essence and ethics of what I stand for. I can only speak for myself, but yeah, it's definitely a safe and non-judgmental space to be in.
And that kind of almost learning to be compassionate for yourself is something that quite a lot of people who work in the helping professions, it's a growing edge, to put it that way. It's something that it's challenging for us sometimes to lean into that part, but absolutely essential. Yeah, thank you. So the membership is open. Is there any last thing that you would say to people who might be wondering whether to join or not? I just want to say it's open at a special ICAF rate until Sunday, and then it goes to the normal rate afterwards. So you can still join over the week as we go through the challenge. You might be inspired to come and join us. And the other thing I can say is that you only have to join for a month, and then you can leave at any point. So so there's a low risk, I would say, in terms of having a go, seeing what it feels like, and just trying it on for size. But would any of you like to say anything about that before we?
Can I just say that, like, I think when I was about to join last year, because I wasn't actually practicing as a facilitator as such out in the community, I hesitated and thought, is this a space for me? And I contacted Sheila and she said, yes, we'd love to have you. I was still nervous showing up, because I was like, oh, who am I showing up in this space, and all those questions. But it has been such a welcoming, non-judgmental space. And you can also dip in and out to your own, there's no pressure. So I think the only challenge sometimes is that there's quite a lot in here, and I want more time to do that. But work takes up other stuff. So if you are, I just like the welcoming. Everybody has been so welcoming in every session I've been in. It's been lovely. And yeah.
Thank you, Helena. And a really important point there. There is a lot of stuff, but it really is. It's a journey. It's not a course. I keep saying that to people. So people just dip into the bits that they can make time for, and that they feel they need to do. So yeah, there's not any pressure for anyone. So oh, lovely. Thanks. Bosh has put the link to join, or just find out more about it. Just have a look at the page and see what it says there. And yeah, so do have a look at the page. So I'm just going to go say goodbye to you lovely Lovely lot. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on and to share your experience, and I hope it's giving everybody a glimpse of the lovely people that are part of Thriving Facilitators. So I'm going to say goodbye to these people, and very short, and just a final bit. So goodbye to them and back to me. Okay, so I hope that's given you a little glimpse inside the membership. I really wanted you to meet real people and to hear from them. So in terms of what's next, so your task today is to do the quiz. So if you haven't done it already, do have a look at the quiz and read the document that I've created, the full Thriving Facilitators roadmap, which will really give you an insight into where you feel you need to lean into. So as Ali was saying, and as various people were saying, it's not a linear, it is progressive, but people are arriving at it from all sorts of different places, and so really it's a guide, it's just a guide, it's not meant to be prescriptive at all, for you to just think about where you want to lean into, where do you want to focus your reflection or your next step, because sometimes when we're in survival mode we feel really overwhelmed, we think we have to get everything in place at the same time, and we don't. So just taking one or two steps in the right area will be really helpful, a helpful first start. So so have a look at the roadmap. I'd love to know what you think. Post in the Facebook group where, if you feel brave enough, you know, where are you in there? I know that some of these members here will say sometimes that they're back at Survive, so there's no hierarchy or anything like that. That's kind of where you know, I told you yesterday I was in Survive for a bit, so you know, we kind of go back and forth. So yeah, post where you think you are on the roadmap, and let's see if we can hear from other people as well. And tomorrow we have a day off because it's Sunday and I want you all to rest. And then on Monday, we come to day 3 of the challenge. And the focus of day 3 is called Your Heart is Your Strength, Not Your Weakness. And it's really about using your heart-centeredness as your superpower to help you out of survival mode, but also to help you to connect with the communities that you serve. So I'm aiming for them to be 20-minute sessions, and I'm thinking about trying to move on to Zoom at some point, or to find a way of getting more connection with you. So maybe using the room on Facebook or something like that. So I'll have a think on that over the weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all. And thank you so much for your comments. And I've got a question here. Are members mostly working with people professionally? Our community arts group is just residents who commit to their area. Okay, I'm not sure I completely understand, but I'd love to answer that question. So if you could just clarify, and I will get back to you in the comments with some clarification about where this sits in relation to your question. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you again to the members, and I will see you soon. I'll see you in the group. Bye-bye.